What's going on, guys? Too Fast Joe here, and welcome to the Too Fast Podcast. With me today, I have two very special guests. Please introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, I'm Generation Defenders. You heard me from the last two podcasts, and I'm happy to be here once again.
Hey guys, this is Ruby. It's nice to meet you guys again.
Excellent. And this week, we only had two episodes of Steven Universe, and really, we only need to talk about one of them because the second one was pretty much filler.
Yeah, like the very special episode was just kind of a callback to 90s PSA episode. So I don't even think this episode's canon. I think it's kind of like a Say Uncle type of episode where it's like literally non-canon.
Yeah,
Hey, well,
yeah. I mean, we should get this out the way, because there's nothing really happened. I'm happy to see Rainbow. What was it? Rainbow Quartz 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I happy to see her, and I happy to see on Sunstone, but it's sad to see that there's just a nothing filler episode.
Mhm. Yeah, but like let's talk
yeah.
about the first episode, Bluebird, where
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's
mhm.
So it started with Steven making a commercial talking about come down to little homeschool so you could not be a villain.
And then we just sort of like see what Lapis and Peridot are doing in this world. And
Yeah.
then once the commercial's over, we see someone is starting to prank Steven.
Yeah, very badly.
Yeah, I think with this episode, or at least like with the pranks that they're doing, it just shows just how immature these two are. Or just like,
Yeah,
they're just they really suck as villains, to be honest.
they're petty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then after Steven was done the commercial and then done getting pranked, we see they're throwing a party at his house, welcoming a brand new gem. So he went to go see it, and then we see Bluebird, the fusion of Eyeball and Aquamarine.
yeah.
You want to say something, Ruby?
When I saw them, I thought they were like, "Is this a businessman commercial?" Or the one that opened the knock on your door is just like, "Hey, you want to buy something?"
Well, actually, like I saw in another video where there's actually like something. There's actually like a reference in business called a Bluebird, and it is supposed to be like some sort of salesperson. So I think that's the reason why they look like that, to represent, like a salesperson.
Yeah, and it had like a country accent, like a southern woman.
Oh, they're from Alabama.
Alabama. Well, shucks, there's the Steven Universe.
It was kind
Oh
of
my
like
god.
it was kind of like a mix with Eyeballs, very rugged soldier voice, and then like Aquamarine's British voice. So I think that's the reason why they sound like a country person.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm not too crazy about the eyes that they gave her. I don't know what, but it looks a little like there's nothing wrong with it, but like I don't know. It just looks weird to me.
To be honest, I don't think Bluebird's design is really that good compared to like the other fusions we've seen.
Yeah.
Like this
Well,
one.
they're. Oh, sorry.
No, you can finish what you're saying.
No, my mom was talking to me. Sorry, guys. I good. Let's go.
Okay, hold on. Well, I'm like compared to like Rainbow Quartz 2.0, Sunstone, the Smoky Quartz, and all the other fusions. Even like Malachite has a better design than Bluebird's design. It's just it really looks pathetic compared to the other fusions.
Right.
Like the only extra limbs that they have are the legs, and you don't even notice it unless
Yeah.
like
Yeah, to be honest, I forgot that she was supposed to have 4 legs. It's just that she walks as if she has two.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the point of like giving her extra limbs if you know.
It
If
kind
you're
of
gonna,
like how Squidward has 4 legs, but he walks as if he has two.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, like with Squidward, he's supposed to be, one person, and he's supposed to be like his own. He's not supposed to be like a fusion. I mean, because
Well,
like,
yeah,
because I mean, like when we see fusions that have extra limbs, they do use those extra limbs. Like with Smoky Quartz, she uses her 3 arms to fight more better, or like a different style of fighting. With Opal, she uses both her arms to do archery in a special way, and then with Bluebird, you forget that she has four legs. It
Hmm.
just feels kind of lazy in her design.
right.
That was a point because they're not a great fusion together.
Yeah, but like with Malachite, he still used her powers, and she still had a certain way of fighting and stuff like that. But with Bluebird, she fights kind of like a regular, ordinary person.
Yeah, she just has a flying ability and like her ice sword.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I
like
And anyway, this episode is basically like to stay typical. The main character know what's going on, but everyone else doesn't know. So it makes the main character look like a fool. And but by the end of it, the main character is right.
mm-hmm.
the main character is always right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, like I think the biggest twist in this episode is that Greg gets his new haircut.
Yeah, whether he wanted to or not.
Yeah. Like
Rest
And,
in peace, hair over.
yeah.
yeah, I mean like it's sad to see that Greg's hair chops up, but I think it's also supposed to be like symbolism of forced change and how he's upset over this type of change. And he reacts, very he cries. Like we hear Pearl say that he's crying in the bathroom because of this change that he was forced to do. He didn't want to get rid of his hair, but he had to in that situation.
Oh yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
supposed to, like, I guess tie. I wouldn't say it parallels Eyeball and Aquamarine, but it's supposed to like, I guess, show how forced change can actually affect somebody.
Right. And then once
Yeah.
that happens, Steven gets pissed.
Yeah, he goes, "Father, go inside."
And then he goes rose and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, Steven is becoming a lot more aggressive
Like,
as
I love this new Steven. It's like back when he was a kid, he always cried about, I never want to hurt anyone. And now he's a teen. He actually got a pair. Like, he'll backhand Aquamarine and I kicked Ruby to the ground.
yeah.
He going.
I mean, he's still Steven. He still try to talk it out. But yeah, he still try to throw hands.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I like. I like this new
Fight.
Steven.
He's like, fight. I don't want to fight, but fight me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fight you, but I'll knock some sense into you.
Eh.
Also, in this episode, it shows that he can also control this rose form, because once he realizes that Eyeball and Aquamarine aren't having trouble fusing again, he stops himself and he speaks to them. So it sort of shows that he still has some control of this form. It's not like a Broly type of transformation where he just goes berserk and he can't control himself. He
Right.
still has like some sense of control for now.
I would like to believe that he's still training with Jasper. Fighting her and having better control over this new Rose form.
That would be a really fun thought.
In the bathroom, yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see, or at least have more implication that he's going to visit Jasper more. So if they do have that whole arc of rebelling gems against Era 3, and she has that, turning point of which side she wants to be, it'll really hit more if she wants to betray Steven or not, because she has that bond with him.
Right. Can you imagine a fusion between Jasper and Steven and then they go pink?
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Like a fusion between Steven and Jasper, or like Steven and Lapis or Bismuth, because like
Yeah.
he's pretty fused with all of the original crystal gems already.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So Steven he fought Bluebird and then we see the what was her name? The fusion between the three crystal gems.
Alexandrite.
Yeah, Alexandrite, and she just crushes Bluebird.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Smash.
It's my favorite gems. Ah, crap baskets. And then they just fly off saying, "We hate you and we'll be back."
So it is confirmed that this fusion was just formed of a hatred between their hatred of Steven. They are not romantically involved whatsoever, but I think as the show progresses, their relationship will get a little better, and then their fusion might be a little more stable. I'm not saying that they're going to fall in love, but I think maybe they're going to become comrades and they'll learn to fuse more efficiently.
Right. Because, my belief with fusion is like, fusion is just to like a relationship. And then with this relationship, quote unquote, it's just that they have a common goal, and that is to like, destroy Steven and everything he loves.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's like, I want to say like a friendship, but it's more of a, we have a common enemy type of relationship.
Comrades.
Yeah, comrades.
Associate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, going back to Greg's hair, he just sets it off into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
But I want to say something real quick. If I see someone in real life with like hair like that, where like they're all bald on top, but they still have hair on the side, I'm like, dude, just let it go. That your time has passed. Just let all the hair go. I wanted to see Greg just bald.
Rest in peace.
Like his rock days are over. There's no point of holding on any longer.
Well, that's like the point of it, and that's why he was so upset when he had to cut it off. Like, it did reminded him of his rock days, and I think it sort of reminded him of his time with Rose when he was young with her. And so when he like cut it off, that was kind of like, his,
It's time to move.
yeah, his way of like forcing himself to like get rid of the past, or like getting rid of what reminded him of the past.
Right. I can understand.
And it wasn't his decision. Like, if it was, his decision to like, it's time to cut, it's time to make this change, I have to move on, then it would be much more natural for him. But because it was forced upon him, he was upset, which is why I think maybe it's kind of like I said, I'm not saying it's a parallelism, but it's kind of like an emphasis of how forced change can affect somebody's life.
Right. Also, in the beginning of the episode, you see Greg like combing his hair and like keeping it on nice and neat, and I like that little bit of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like you won't catch it the first time around, but like by the second time, like, oh, he's combing his hair, he don't know what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I don't understand when he's talking to Steven is that he praises Steven, how he gives everybody a chance and how he always wants to see the good in everybody. This entire episode, Steven was judging Bluebird from the start. It was everybody else that wanted to give her a chance. Like, what is Greg talking about?
I mean, Bluebird did try. Well, Eyeball and Aquamarine did like hurt him really badly.
Yeah, but I mean, like he's saying, "Good job, Steven." Like you always see the good in everybody. Like you always want to be forgiving, and you always want to give people a second chance. Steven was the first person not to trust Bluebird, and he was the one that didn't want to give her a second chance. Everybody else wanted to. So I'm confused why Greg would like compliment Steven on that.
Well, maybe he wouldn't have been so suspicious if she didn't like try to prank him in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was already like hostile. You're like, what's going on? And then he sees Bluebird like, oh, that's what's going on. She's still haven't changed, so she's gonna try to like do something crazy. And then so yeah, like from the beginning he was already hostile. If they haven't done that, I'm pretty sure he would have been more forgiving.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like Greg was telling Steven how he was always forgiving. Like, he was implying that he wanted to give Bluebird a chance, but he didn't. Like,
Hmm.
that's why I'm confused of.
I might have to go back and watch it again, but yeah, I see your point.
I don't know. I just sort of feel like, if Steven was more open minded and was more, had his guard down, then yeah, that would have made sense for Greg to compliment Steven that way. But Steven was always on guard this entire episode, so it didn't make sense for him to compliment how forgiving Steven is.
Yeah, you're right.
But what I did like about this episode was that they were not redeemed at the end, and it still implied that they're going to come back and cause more trouble to happen.
Yeah, most likely in like the finale or like in a few more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, but it also shows that people can't. Some people don't want to change, and they have to change for themselves, and that's a lot better because like the biggest criticism that Steven Universe has is that everyone gets redeemed too easily and too quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see that. That's why I like I hope she doesn't get redeemed at all. I hope she just like just be bubbled forever, because there's some people in the world that is so like cruel and like they don't deserve to be redeemed and they don't want to be redeemed.
They can't change.
Yeah. So the only way is to like contain them.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually don't see that in kids shows, especially. Usually they want to teach kids to forgive and forget, just try to keep giving people second chances. I think the only series that actually handles a topic like that and they don't get redeemed was Avatar The Last Airbender. Do you guys remember the episode where Katara and Zuko go on a journey to try and avenge Katara's mother?
Yeah, that was the best episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I remember watching Avatar, but I don't remember anything from it.
So, like in this episode, Zuko and Katara go out to avenge the man who killed Katara's mother.
We should
And
probably
when
put a spoiler warning.
and when they find her, well, when they find him, Katara has the chance to kill him, but she doesn't, and she goes she goes away. So then, but in the end, she doesn't forgive him, and she says that she's not going to change. He's never going to change, but she knew that killing him wasn't going to solve anything either. So, what I
I
liked
think I
about
heard about this scene too. Yeah.
mm-hmm. So what I liked about this episode is that yeah, he was not redeemed at all, but they still didn't forgive him at all, and it was okay for them to show that this guy was unforgivable, but there was still no use to kill him. Like she was not going to get anything out of this by killing him.
Right.
So I
And
think
Yeah.
And you said Steven Universe and Avatar was the only one that showed that the people can't be redeemed and like there's always someone bad out there.
Yep.
Well, obviously you haven't seen My Little Pony because at the end there was these three villains that was so evil that they couldn't be redeemed. So they just turned them to stone and like for all eternity they just be in the stone.
Yeah, I don't watch My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Well, what about the Batman anime series? They have a lot of villains that never be redeemed.
Well, it's
Even
Batman.
the
What do you
tragic one.
expect?
But
Well,
they're all so tragic. Like Joker makes sense, you know. Doctor Freeze,
Okay, we're getting off topic. All right.
he can't be redeemed.
We're getting off topic. All right. Let's talk about the filler
And
episode.
oh no,
All
the
right.
ad.
Yeah, like this. Honestly, it's gonna be really short because this episode didn't have much. It had Rainbow Course 2.0 and Sunstone. You know, I like seeing these fusions. It's just that they're in a episode that won't be able to. I won't watch again because nothing happens. You know, it's filler. It's non-canon because it was just some like a fourth wall breaking commercial, and it's like, why would I ever go back to watch this? You know, it adds nothing to the plot and it wasn't even that interesting to watch anyway.
mm-hmm.
It was just to show, oh, you shouldn't do more than you should, or like, you know, don't overbook yourself.
I think maybe this episode is going to probably foreshadow what might happen to Steven later on. Because now I'm not saying that he's going to become the worm, but I feel like something is going to happen to Steven where he is kind of being burned out and something might happen to him, or like his pink powers are going to go out of control because he keeps pushing himself too hard or he keeps pushing his powers too much. So maybe like this is at least foreshadowing it. I honestly thought that we were going to have like a fusion between Garnet, Pearl, and Steven. Like that's what I thought was going to happen, but nah, it was just like a PSA.
Yeah. That episode didn't have
Yeah.
much to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Like going back to whole
At least
like
I get to see Rainbow Court.
yeah, but you know, it's like I like how she's like the whole like what's that one British lady with the umbrella?
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, she's like a Mary Poppins Doctor Who type person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. But also going back to Onion, it's like how old is he?
He's immortal.
It's like he's like the show. We talked about this before, but like the show has like from the beginning to now, it's been 3 years. You know, in the show universe, and like is Onion supposed to be like we never got like a confirmed age for him, but like I'm assuming, he was like 6 when the or like 5 when the show first began, and then 3 years later he like isn't he supposed to be like 8 or 9 ish.
I
He's
feel
immortal. He will never age. He will. He would. He's like. He's like a character that you don't know who he is.
yeah, I think Onion is just immortal. I don't think what's his dad's name again? Like Yellow Trout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Yellow Trout is his real dad. I think
Oh god,
Vidalia,
here
like,
comes a headcanon.
I think Vidalia lied and like he's like some sort of weird half breed, or like maybe he's just some sort of immortal being.
He was the caliber all along.
Oh yeah, we
God.
already said that last time that he's the caterpillar.
I bet. I bet on it. I bet on it.
Oh god.
If I fail, I cry.
But is that it?
Well,
I think that's it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. It's just kind of like a boring PSA. It might foreshadow what turmoil Steven might go through in the end of the series, but other than that, it's just kind of a PSA.
Yeah. So these past 2 episodes, we got the introduction of Bluebird and then a filler episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to see the Lapises.
Yeah, I can't wait. I
I
can't
want to
wait.
see a cat fight.
Yeah. I can't wait to see like what's going on with like White Diamond. Also, of course, the giant worm guy.
Yeah.
But no one talk about the like cat guy, the cactus, the little watermelon man in the back, big watermelon man in the background.
The cactus
Does no
thief.
one talk about? Yes, no one talk about him.
Well, we haven't seen him yet.
I mean, like, what
I
can
know, but
really do? Anyone can
punch you with his spike, like punch you people with a spike in his body.
Well, I mean,
They're
like,
painful, you know.
that's true, but I mean, like, I just don't know what threat Cactus Steven can do to everybody. It's just
God damn it,
he's
Ruby.
He's
yeah, he's uh, useless.
Yeah,
And
honestly, I think Cactus Steven is gonna be a one-off villain.
if
I
Like,
that's
punch you with my spike.
like I honestly don't see Cactus Steven in like this whole group of villains. You know, I don't see him like sitting down at a round table like, all right, how are we gonna get rid of Steven Universe? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a one-off villain.
yeah, it's just like, what's the point of putting Cactus Steven there? Like, it would have been a better if you don't
Because they
foreshadow.
needed like more villains for the thumbnail.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could have taken him out and nobody would have been upset about it.
True.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't be talking about it right now.
Yeah, but it would have been better if it was just a surprise instead. Like, I don't know, maybe the reason they put Cactus Steven there because maybe his episode is like good attic. I don't know.
I don't know why they put Jasper in there if she's gonna have a redemption arc.
Because to hype us for Jasper.
Because of clickbait.
No,
Because of because of Orange Mom.
the return of Orange Mom.
Well,
We need her.
God damn it, Ruby. But yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
is that it?
Yep.
All
I
right.
think, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, this has been Too Fast Joe and a Too Fast podcast. Remember, go fast, don't be last.